Srila Gurudev implores those who have made this mistake of adopting the Mayavad motto, Soham, I am that. Gurudev says, give up this illusory conception. This will not help you in your spiritual life. Take shelter of Sri Krishna. Develop your loving relationship with him. This will give you spiritual fulfillment. All the scriptures establish the eternal distinction of the living entities with Krishna, such as the Narad Pancharatra and many other scriptures. Still, people cannot give up this conception of Mayavad. It's very difficult. There is a great difference between the living entities and the Supreme. We are under the control of Maya. The Lord is her master. This is a huge difference. This is given in the Dasamula Tattva by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the 10 essential truths. He says that we are always able to come under the influence of the Lord's Maya potency, whereas Krishna is always the control over his Maya. Therefore, we cannot be Krishna. Even the 6 schools of philosophy in India establish that the living entities and the Supreme Soul are distinct and different. Again, we should point out that Mahaprabhu reconciled all the different philosophies of the different acharyas and established the perfect conclusion, Achintya Bed Abeda Tattva, meaning the living entities are simultaneously one with and different from the Lord. However, in that case, difference is prominent. When there is oneness and difference, difference becomes prominent. There are so many examples, so many verses that show that the living entities and the Lord they are distinct from one another. So we should not think that they are one. We should accept this idea of Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. That's the proper conception that is given by our acharyas. The difference of the jivas and the living entity and the Supreme Soul is seen by examining their qualities. For example, river water and ocean water is different. Even when the river enters the ocean, it does not become one in all respects. For example, you may mix milk inside water. And an ordinary person will see, like if you put some milk inside a pond, then it looks like the milk is merged into the pond. But this is because of your faulty senses. A swan is described to be Hangsa in Sanskrit, means they're able to separate milk from water. So there's no such thing as merging with that absolute. This is only the false conception of Mayavad. Even at the end of the universal manifestation, when the creation is wound up and enters the body of Lord Karanadakshay Vishnu and remains therein until the next creation, even at that point, even though they enter the transcendental form of Mahavishnu, when the creation begins anew, the living entities again appear from that form of Lord Vishnu. At no point do they lose their identity. They are inside the body of Lord Vishnu in the sense that they are at that time resting in divine slumber. Now, how to understand the Lord's divine nature when Mother Yashoda asked Lord Krishna, open your mouth, show me inside your mouth, because the boys were saying that he had eaten clay. So Krishna opened his mouth and Mother Yashoda became wonderstruck. Inside the Lord's mouth she saw millions of universes, millions of galaxies and planets. And then she saw one where she was standing and looking in the mouth of Krishna. How is this possible? So we hear that within the form of the Lord, all the universes are present. And at the same time the Lord is performing his divine play, apparently within one universe. So this is the unlimited nature of the Lord. But then how can we be that? We are connected to that, and therefore we should perform bhakti, devotion. For example, if we're all just one, then everything is one. What you possess is mine. We're all just one. What yours is mine. This would lead to anarchy and chaos in society. This Mayavad philosophy has no practical point. All these classifications in scriptures have no meaning. All the different instructions, rules and regulations have no meaning. We're all just God. The thief, the murderer, the saint, the philanthropist, they're all just one. So we should give up this false conception of Mayavad. Kapila Dev teaches in the Bhagavatam, the Supreme Personality is always beyond the material elements, the senses, the mind and ego, and the elements of matter. And the jiva is eternally distinct from Krishna as well. So the scriptures all describe this. So in this way, we should try to give up both the conceptions of the Shunyavadis and the Mayavadis, the Voidists and the Impersonalists. This is one of the main contributions of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON. In his Pranam mantra says, Nirvasesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarane, that he completely defeated the Voidist and Impersonalist conceptions that were prevalent in the Western countries, and in this way he delivered the Western countries. So those who think the Lord is void, formless, or we are the same, this is complete foolishness. We should try to give it up. We should not be a sheep following the herd of the Mayavadis, blindly following their conception. It has no proper philosophical grounding. Krishna is full of transcendental knowledge, transcendental sweet pastimes, millions of beautiful sweet names. Whatever he desires can be instantly fulfilled. He is filled with transcendental qualities, transcendental opulence, and relationship with him gives us transcendental bliss. If we give up that relationship with him, we give up our potential to experience spiritual sweetness and bliss. Therefore, we should give up this Mayavad philosophy. The Mayavadis say, the Supreme has no qualities, but this is not supported by the Vedas. They say, Sa Satya Dharma, the Supreme Lord is full of auspicious transcendental qualities. Actually, we can say that we can only conceive of something by understanding its qualities, or that it has attributes. Therefore, the Mayavadi's idea that the Lord has no attributes, that is only based on their word jugglery, or it is actually based on ignorance. Only a foolish person will accept it. The Vedas and the scriptures again and again describe the Lord and his spiritual qualities. Yatova imani bhutani jayante, which means that the entire universal expanse emanates from the Supreme. Those who say that this is a transformation of ignorance, the Supreme there is no creator, that is just foolishness. Now, Mayavadis say material life and existence is just like a dream. God is having a dream that he is a living entity. But dreams have many faults. For example, in a dream, you can eat and eat and eat. When you wake up, you're not going to be full. In the waking condition, by eating, drinking, everything, you become satisfied. When the Mayavadis use this dream example, it's a great mistake taught by the Vaishnavas. The waking condition is not like a dream. We are not in some kind of dream of God. That God is dreaming that he is the individual soul, and when he wakes up, we all realize we are God. If it was all just a dream, what's the point of sadhana? It's just a dream. When the dream's over, you're going to wake up. What's the point of doing any spiritual practice? And yet the scriptures say again and again, you must perform sadhana in order to transcendentally develop, in order to spiritually evolve. Also, even regardless of spiritual sadhana, without any material karma for material results, then you cannot achieve anything. So there's no point of any sadhana, of any karma. It's all just a dream. What's the point of any of it? Whatever happens in a dream, it's not going to give you any benefit. So this example is also improper. You can say this world is temporary. We accept that. Meaning, whatever state we're in the material world, it's transitory. Now I am a man, in my next life I may be a woman. Now I am an animal, in my next life I may be a human. I may be a deva, then I may be a beggar. I may be a king, then I may be a pauper. This is according to our karma. It's described to be like a Ferris wheel that we're going up and down on. Right? But if it's all just a dream, an illusion, false, then all our religious practices, all our sadhana, all our rules and regulations, none of it holds any meaning. If it's all just a dream, Mayavadis themselves follow all these sadhanas. Why? It's all just a dream. What's the point? Therefore, we should not accept this idea. This philosophy of the Mayavads is only meant to bewilder foolish jivas who naturally already have materialistic and demonistic tendencies. This philosophy has many inconsistencies, as we have heard. So we should accept and understand Krishna has created the material world by his energies. Therefore, since he is real, this also has reality. When we chant the Brahma Gayatri mantras, we meditate upon the different Vyahritis, Bhurabhuvasva, the different planetary systems. And because these manifest from Krishna, they also have substance. They also have reality. As Krishna is real, they are also real. It is not just some kind of dream. Just because they are going through transformations of life, being born and dying and growing old, does not mean they are not real. Now, sometimes in the scriptures, it looks like it is saying the jiva is like the supreme, and we've heard these. And the Vaishnavas give another example. For those who stubbornly again and again give this point, they say sometimes the king will send a messenger on some errand or some official duty. And when people will meet that messenger, they will respect him like the king because they know that he is the messenger of the king. And if they do not honor him properly, it is disrespect to the king himself. This is an example to show when we hear similarities drawn between the soul and God. It is shown to give an idea that we are ultimately beyond matter and our destiny is spiritual. And therefore we should awake. There's a verse in the scriptures. Uttistata jagrata prapya varoni bhodita shurasya dhara nishita duratya durgang patastat kavayo vedanti. Those who are wise will follow the spiritual life. They will awake, arise, and follow this path of spiritual life. So these descriptions showing that I am of that spirit, it is show that we can understand this is not my true home. This is not my true place. I should not be bound by this material state. I should develop. But that does not mean we can become God ourselves. It means that we should follow the path of Bhakti Yoga and realize our transcendental relationship with Krishna, and then we can be truly spiritually happy. So in this way, we have heard many of the Vaishnava refutations of the Mayavadi conclusions. We should reflect upon these. As we heard, all the innumerable universes reside within the form of the transcendental personality of Godhead. And we are a very small part and parcel, a very small jiva. Therefore, we should give up this conception that I am the same Supreme Lord. Instead, we should develop the conception of Bhakti Yoga, loving devotional bhakti service, and then through that we can be truly happy. It is said in the Jaiva Dharma, we cannot be happy unless we follow our true Dharma. So trying to follow the Mayavadi idea that I am God, we cannot be established in that because it's not our Dharma. It's not our true nature. And if we don't follow our true nature, we cannot be truly happy. Therefore, if we want true happiness in spiritual life, we should follow Bhakti Yoga, because that can give you true spiritual fulfillment. So thank you for watching our series on breaking the wheel of the final illusion, the false conception that I am God, or the impersonalistic conception of Mayavad. And if you have any questions about this and these subjects, please write them in the comments. Please share this with your friends or with people who you want to show the Vaishnav conception of personalism and bhakti. And also, if you have any ideas for further series, put that in the comments as well. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the future videos. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, Vanchakal.